Let's tally up my usage, shall we? Hello friends, welcome to my corner of the internet. As you guys can see from the title, today we are going to do my first quarter update on my usage of eyeshadow palettes. So this year, if you are new, welcome. I am not doing any project panning, but I am keeping track of palettes to see what I'm reaching for, what I'm not reaching for, so that way I can reevaluate to see what palettes should stay, which ones should go, or are they only used for certain looks here and there? So I have a pile. I have 3 piles here, and there's a drastic difference between the numbers, which is very interesting, but there is an explanation for it. So if you want to see my top palette so far for the first quarter, which means January, February, March, what palettes did I use the most? Keep on watching. All right, you guys, so I have been keeping track of all of the palettes that have touched my eyeballs. Whether that's a quad, whether that's a duo, anything that's not a single, I have been keeping track to see how many times I reach for it, if I reach for it at all this year, so on and so forth. You guys know that I'm also pulling palettes into my Shop My Stash, which allows me to be able to reach for these palettes more. The majority of the palettes that I've reached for this year have only had one use, so they're not in here. I'm not putting in here anything that has one use. It's uses of 3 and up. And there's not much. I feel like I have been in this groove where I pick certain palettes, I use them for looks, or I'm reaching for my singles a lot. A lot of my eyeshadow sticks, you guys know that. A lot of my just single eyeshadows, my duos, those kind of things, where I'm not really reaching for these kind of palettes. And that's okay with me, because I do want to have a variation of things, liquid eyeshadows, cream eyeshadows. I want to reach for everything a little bit and really wean down every category that goes on my eyes, just to make sure that I have things that I do want to continue to reach for and eventually use up completely. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. The first category that I have are palettes that I've only used 3 times in the first 3 months of the year. This tally stops on March 31st. Anything in the month of April has not been included in this because it goes to the second quarter. So these are just the numbers that are in here for January, February, and March, and that's it. So 3 uses goes. The first one is my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette. I've only reached for this one 3 times. Reasonable, makes sense. I did have this in the last Shop My Stash. I reached for it quite a few times, and I really did enjoy it. So I've only gotten 3 uses out of it. I'm at least happy that it got some sort of usage on it. May or may not come back, I don't know. I do have the liberty of reaching throughout my whole collection, so if I feel like bringing it back or using it, I will. Next up is the Danessa Myricks Groundwork. So this one has been used only 3 times as well. That's not including anything that is being used currently. Spoiler alert, she has been used quite a few times more recently, and it's mainly because she is more of the cream puttiness is what lets me allow to use it now. So I've been using this quite a bit, but for the first quarter, it's only been used 3 times. Last year got quite a bit of usage as well. As you guys can see, this is one of my most well-loved palettes. I think this was the most used palette of last year too. So that says a lot about this one. So I've only had 3 uses out of this one in the last quarter. Urban Decay and Naked. I'm very happy to see that this was ranked in here. It was used only 3 times, but I'm happy to say that it was reached for. Bear in mind, I did use this one quite a bit in November and December, but I was not tallying then. So 3 uses may seem like a little bit, but considering I used it quite a bit in November and December, I wish I would have tallied up because I did use it a lot. So anyway, 3 uses, that's okay. This was sent to me in PR, and I'm very happy to get this back in my life because I really do like that one. Last but not least, in the third category, I'm happy to see this too. Pat McGrath, Moonlight Seduction. So this is one that I reached for 3 times. Makes sense again because it is more of the winter kind of vibes going on with the cranberries, the blues, the cooler tones in here with a splash of neutral. So I see why I only reached this one for 3 times. I will say out of all 4 of these palettes, I'm so happy to see that I am reaching for my higher end palettes. That was one of my main concerns is I tend to reach for things that are inexpensive, things that are quick, and they don't last a long time on my eyes because I want to save these for something good, save these for a better time. But you know what? That better time is today. So I'm happy to say that these are getting love because that's what I want to see is my higher end palettes that do last on my eyes and not go bad. And then when I want to use them, then I can't because they went bad. Now let's move on to the palettes that I used 4 times. So these got one more use than the last pile that you saw. First up is the Lorac Fairy Tale Forest one. This one really just struck a chord with me, and I think it has to do more with these different shades around here. I loved mixing and matching them. They're really, really pretty. The mattes went on nicely, but I feel like it was the shimmers that stood out for me, and they just worked for those days that I really wanted something glam, or I just wanted something sheer on the eyes. So this one got 4 uses. Very happy about that because prior to that, this only had like 1 or 2 uses on it. 4 uses goes to my Sultry palette. I love this palette. This is something that I was contemplating on wearing today, but I decided to pull something else out because it needed an opportunity. But this has had a ton of use. This has 3 pans in it already. So you guys know I use this one quite a bit. So I've only had 4 uses of it the last quarter. Something tells me that it's going to be upped in the summertime just because these colors right here are a lot more of a summer sultry look, kind of like what I'm wearing today for the summertime. So I do like this one a lot. So this one only got 4 uses as well. This one, I'm so sad I never tallied up how many uses I got in November, December, because this one got so much use in November, December. But for what I tallied up for the first quarter, it was only 4 uses. This is something that is like my workhorse palette when I need a crease, when I need that simple eye look or that not so much in my face kind of look. I reach for this one a lot, and I've been having a lot of fun with this palette. I can't get over this one. I always feel like I'm reaching for it, but it doesn't sound like it. So I don't know. I've been reaching for it quite a bit. So this one is the MAC Unfiltered Nudes one. So this only got 4 uses, but again, don't forget that it got used a lot in December and November. Last but not least, what is the replacement? So this palette replaced this one that MAC had, and this one's beautiful just as well. This is the nude model. So this one doesn't exist anymore, but it is beautiful, and I do like it. I feel like this is a wonderful, more subtle palette than the last one I shared with you. It doesn't have so much depth in it, and I think that's why I like it. It has more mattes than the last one, so I kind of pair both of them together, so it makes sense why they both only got 4 uses out of it. So yeah, this one I do like as well. So 4 uses for that one. So far, I've shared with you guys 8 palettes. Half got 4, half got 3. And the main palette that has been reached for so much this month, or this year, I should say in general, the last quarter, this palette ended up with 28 uses, you guys, and keep going. So this is what it's looking like right now. This is a spoiler alert for my next video that I'm doing, but it is what it is. This is the palette that has gotten a lot of use. This shadow right here has gotten the most use, but it is being mixed with this palette. I have used all these shades throughout the last quarter, but I've mainly been reaching for these 2 right here. And that's my goal. Once I get a tan, I am going to switch over to her sister and see if I can use that one a little bit more. But this is a beautiful palette. It just works for almost anything that I do, and I love it. It's a shame that I never reached for it sooner, but I'm happy that it's still working fine for me to reach for it now. So this one ended up with 28 uses in the last quarter, which is phenomenal. Considering it's a 5-pan palette and I like a bigger palette, that says a lot. All right, guys, so 9 palettes got a lot of use. Everything else that I touched last month was only a 1-use palette. So it got used, but it wasn't front and center in my mind as much as the rest of them, or maybe I just reached for one shadow in there, whatever the case may be. So I'm happy to say that 9 palettes have been well loved. Let's see what the summer brings. I did mention to you guys that I'm more of an eyeshadow stick kind of person, a cream shadow, a liquid shadow, one and done, adding a glisten on the eye kind of thing. So we'll see what the next quarter is. So I will be telling April, May, and June. And then you will see that coming up somewhere in June, so you guys can see that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your most used palette so far is up until this point. I would love to hear that. I love to see how we reach for things. It's very interesting and it's very eye-opening because I'm realizing that I am not regretting everything I've decluttered up until this point because I don't miss it. I don't miss it, and I see what my likes and loves are. So that's all that I have for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching and clicking on this video. It really means a lot to me. I will see you guys on the video on the screen. Until then,